My name is Edie Sample, and I'm an instructor with the Social Sciences program. I teach psychology full-time. I've been at MCC for almost 12 years, 12 years December 1st, as a matter of fact. Before I came to Metro, I was in student affairs and student development for about 18 years, and I've had the opportunity to work at 3 other colleges and universities. Most recently, I worked at 4-year private liberal arts schools. My primary responsibilities in the beginning were residential life. I was studying to be a counselor and had an opportunity to help support myself through a graduate assistantship that turned into a career. And that led me on a path to working with students on the other side of higher education. And I also worked as a counselor, so I have done many things, but they all boil down to student success and education. I'm originally from Wabash, Indiana. It's a small town northeast Indiana, and I think the population now is about 10,000. But I was able to attend the University of St. Francis in Fort Wayne, and I studied psychology and English, and then I went right on to my graduate degree at Ball State University, and that's where I was able to have my first career experience as well. 2 that pop into my head first are my English teachers in high school, my junior and senior high school English teachers, Linda Troop and Bruce Johnson. And Linda Troop for really holding us accountable. She taught the basics, she expected excellence. I think she was the first teacher that really encouraged critical thought and how to express myself in writing and to do it in a good technical way. Bruce Johnson, he brought such fun and spontaneity to the classroom. He was himself, he loved what he did, and he also helped me understand or believe that I could go on to college. My parents were not college educated. I was a first-generation college student, and he actually went with me to register for my classes and supported me in that, and both of them became mentors for me even after I left high school. My teaching philosophy is in many respects developmental, and by that I mean I want to take each student where they are in terms of their experiences, their goals, and educational needs, and meet them where they are and help take them to the next level of where they want to go. The thing that motivates me the most is trying something new, trying to make a connection with students, to get them excited about learning, ideally learning about psychology, and how to connect that to their personal experience. I know most of my students are not going to go on to major in psychology, but my subject area teaches them to think critically, to gain insight about themselves, and to also use that in their family or professional life. Technology has made a significant difference in how I teach in some ways. When I began, I was using chalk and chalkboard and overheads, and very quickly, especially after coming to Metro, because Metro is on the cutting edge of having high-tech classrooms, making computers and technology accessible to instructors and students, I had to learn very quickly. And today I use a variety of technological opportunities. I do teach online courses sometimes, but now I also teach hybrid courses, so students have the opportunity to come into the classroom, to interact with each other, to practice key concepts, but the other half of their time is using online services to get the lecture materials, to watch videos, and prepare to come in and have an interactive experience. If they have a question, they have a need, I can be back in touch with them, within 24 hours, and that technology has allowed for more community and engagement in and outside the classroom. Me with the students, but also the students with each other if they choose to do that. I think I'm pretty genuine in class, and that I really care about their learning. And I know it's different for everybody, and so trying to help them identify what their needs and goals are in education and help them achieve that. And also, again, how can psychology in some way affect them? They all use it, but to be more meaningful and understanding of how they use it, and to help them achieve their personal and professional goals. That I was passionate about my subject. I think that's one thing they come away with, that they learned something about themselves and that they had some fun. I've learned a lot from my students, and I learn something every day, so it's hard to tease out, one lesson, but I think one of the things that I'm reminded of over and over again is that everybody brings a unique skill or talent to the table, and everybody can learn and wants to learn something. May not always be what I want them to learn, but that there's always a takeaway, and that success comes in many forms, and it's not always a grade, it's not always a particular lesson, but that everybody is capable of success. I think my greatest challenge is trying to take myself to the next level in terms of being more of a facilitator in active learning, and to sometimes divorce myself of my content. I love psychology, and I want to share as much as I possibly can, and would like to not try to fill the time quite so much and let students have an opportunity to process the information and practice and connect with each other. And some days I'm very successful in that, and other days I'm not. But that's one of the things I love about teaching, is every day is a new day, and you can always reinvent yourself. You can always try something new, and that's exciting and energizing. I enjoy time with my friends. That's where a lot of my fun is derived. I tend to have simple pleasures. I love going to movies. I love going to dinner. I like my alone time and reading. On occasion, I do like to travel, and actually through MCC, I had an opportunity to travel to China a couple of years ago, and I continue to like to visit new places and try new things, and then come back and re-energize at home with a good book or a good movie. I live a life of quiet contemplation very often. It's attributed to Albert Einstein. He said something akin to, everybody's a genius, but if you judge a fish by how well it can climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing it's stupid. And it has a lot of meaning to me, because everybody brings different gifts and talents to the table, and students and faculty learn differently, and those are all valuable. It's just that we need to help people find those gifts and appreciate those gifts. I definitely want to be here at Metro until it's time for me to move on, I guess, to my golden years. I'm a lifer here, and happy about that. I'm Edie Sample. I'm an instructor with social sciences at MCC. I teach psychology.